Hi guys, it's Miko Martinez, and in this video, I'm going to discuss everything you need to know about link building, what it is, why it's important, and go over a few strategies to build quality backlinks that actually move the needle. If you don't know who I am a Shopify SEO expert. I've been in the SEO industry for over 6 years now. I've worked on over 200 projects, and I've helped scale some of them to over 7 figures in annual revenue. And so let's get to the video. So link building. So what is link building exactly, and why is it so important when it comes to SEO? So link building is the process of getting other websites to link back to yours. These backlinks are crucial because they tell search engines that your site is trustworthy and authoritative. Think of them as votes of confidence from other sites. So the way these search engine algorithms work is that, this is the whole SEO playbook, right? The way the search engine algorithms work is that they're looking for brands that are the experts or authority in the industry. And there's generally two ways to establish yourself as the expert or authority in your industry. Number one, through on-page SEO or your content. So publishing quality content, the search engine crawls your site, sees the content quality, you're answering the user queries well, comprehensively, and the search engine can evaluate and say, like, okay, this is quality content. These guys must be the expert or authority in the industry. And the second way is off-page SEO or link building. Why? Because backlinks, you can read here, signal to search engines that your content is valuable and authoritative, right? Like, why else would other websites, other brands link to your brand if your content wasn't helpful, valuable, or authoritative, right? So that's how these search engines were built, right? That's how these algorithms work. And you can see it on the search engine results page. Pages with more backlinks tend to rank higher. So these backlinks are one of the top ranking factors for these search engines, okay? And that's why link building is so important. To give you an example, that's exactly why Wikipedia ranks for so many queries or keywords, because so many websites, so many brands link to Wikipedia as a source. So Wikipedia has all these backlinks, this huge backlink profile, and you can tell Wikipedia's content is trustworthy, it's authoritative, and because of that, people link to Wikipedia, adding on top of that authoritativeness, right? I hope that makes sense. Okay, so why are backlinks important? Because they are a top ranking factor. They signal to search engines that your site is valuable, because when other websites link to yours, it shows that they trust and recommend your content, whether that's the form of a blog post, a product page, a product category page, it doesn't matter. If other websites link to your site, it is a signal to the search engines that your content is trustworthy, okay? And as I mentioned earlier, more links usually mean higher rankings. Just look at the search engine results page. If you look at the top 3 ranking pages, they usually have a ton of backlinks, especially if it's for a competitive keyword. They usually have a ton of backlinks, okay? So last thing here, in essence, backlinks are basically like votes of confidence in the eyes of the search engine, okay? So now let's go to the strategies, like the link building strategies that work really well today, okay? Because backlinks are nice, but you need to build quality backlinks, because low quality backlinks, like if you were to buy backlinks on, let's say Fiverr, won't really move the needle. Not every backlink is the same, because if it was that easy, you could just build 1,000 backlinks and start ranking, but it's not like that, right? Different backlinks have different attributes and qualities, okay? And these are the strategies that work really well today. And I've ranked this from most effective to least effective. So most effective right now, also the most difficult strategy to execute, is digital PR. Digital PR is when you create high quality content and then you contact their journalists to basically gain media coverage and backlinks. This gets you the highest quality backlinks, usually from really high authority sites, but it's very difficult to do a digital PR campaign. So they tend to be not as reliable as the next two strategies that I will, actually recommend to start with. Because digital PR, you can try to do it, but if the journalists don't like your content, if you don't have that relationship with journalists, it's not going to be easy to get those backlinks, right? When you look at digital PR, it seems easy, but it's actually not that easy from our experience, right? So if you're just getting started with link building, I suggest number 2 and 3 because they're more reliable and you can control your link velocity and quality of those links if you stick to these two strategies. So number 2 is guest posts. So guest posts is simply offering to write articles for websites and include a link to your site, right? Again, this is a reliable strategy. Over 70% of the backlinks we build at our agency are either a guest post or a link insertions. So getting to link insertions or niche edits are basically similar to guest posts, but instead of offering to write articles for their website, you just ask websites to link to your site from an existing article already. And these are actually really powerful if you insert that link on a page that's already getting traffic or has some backlinks itself, right? So for both link insertions and guest posts, ideally you get these links on a page with traffic. So link insertion, simple enough. You find a page that's already ranking on Google well, that is getting traffic, and you ask for a link insertion on that page. Guest post, because this is a new page or a new post, the goal here is to write a quality guest post as though you were trying to rank it on that guest post site, right? Because if you can rank it on that guest post site, that's essentially a link from a page with traffic, making it powerful, okay? So if you're trying to buy a guest post and then the provider's like, oh, just only 500 words, no. Make sure you do the research, write the content brief, see what content is ranking for that keyword or query, and make sure that you're trying to rank your guest post. That's what makes guest posts more powerful. A lot of people are writing guest posts off and are just building link insertions or niche edits, but guest posts can still be really powerful if you know how to do them right? And a good way to do that is to try to rank your guest posts, to ask the website you're getting a guest post on to add internal links from other posts to your guest posts, things like that, okay? When it comes to reliability, guest posts and link insertions are still the most reliable. It allows you to control your link velocity, and you can always vet the backlinks you're getting sites from, okay? Next, number 4, Harrow or Connectively. So this is actually, they've phased out Harrow. Even on Connectively, it's been phased out. But there are still other websites, alternatives, like let's say Quoted. That's quoted with a Q, with a W, like this, that work similarly to Harrow. So this is still a viable strategy, right? It's basically responding to journalists' requests for expert quotes. And if they use your quote, they link to your site. This is a good strategy to get high authority DR70 plus links. Obviously, it's a little bit more difficult now with Harrow phasing out, even Connectively phasing out. You have to use alternatives like Quoted, but it's still a viable strategy. Okay, number 5, PBNs or private blog networks. People are scared of PBNs. Like people say, I don't want to build PBNs. But if you've done some testing, PBNs actually still work really, really well if it's done properly. The important thing about PBNs, the important thing when you're using PBNs is that if you're not building them yourself, you find a trustworthy vendor that actually builds quality PBNs, right? And we still use PBNs to boost hard to move pages. Like if we've built like a bunch of backlinks to a page and a bunch of backlinks to the blog post and internally link to that page, and that page still doesn't rank in the top 3, that's when we start using some PBNs, because PBNs are super powerful, okay? 6, link exchanges. So link exchanges are basically exchanging links with other websites. So I give you a backlink from this site in exchange for a backlink from your site. Link exchanges are even better when you're not doing them one-to-one. It's when you're doing them with multiple sites and people, it's more effective that way because it looks more natural. Okay? Number 7, unlinked brand mentions. So unlinked brand mentions are when you contact websites that mention your brand but didn't link to you, right? So you're being mentioned on, like, let's say a news article or just article in general, and they mention your brand but they didn't add the backlink to your website, right? So all you need to do is contact that brand and ask them to insert that backlink on that mention, right? And this is usually very effective for brands that are already established, because brands that are already established have built their brand through usually some paid advertising methods or even social media that other websites have mentioned their brand without adding that backlink to your site. So unlinked brand mentions very good, especially for established brands. 8, linkable assets. So if you can create valuable content like infographics, tools, or guides that naturally attract backlinks, linkable assets can be a very powerful strategy. It all depends on what industry you're in and how creative you can be when it comes to creating these linkable assets. Again, infographics, link-based articles, expert roundups, tools and calculators work really well. Statistics pages seem to work really well. But yeah, linkable assets are still a good link building strategy, especially when you can add internal links from those linkable assets and funnel that link juice to the pages that you actually want to rank, like your shopping pages. Okay. And then this last thing with link building, again, when it comes to link building, quality over quantity. It doesn't matter if you build a ton of, like, let's say blog comments, forum links, web 2.0, automated links, etc. These don't really move the needle. They're more likely to hurt you, right? So don't bother with them. I would just go straight to building backlinks through these strategies. Doesn't matter if they're more difficult or you're building less links. The thing is that these backlinks, these strategies will move the needle, while these ones won't, right? So don't waste your time. Don't buy some Fiverr links. They're not going to move the needle. They most likely hurt you and take you a step backwards, right? And the reason is simple, because anyone can build them. If anyone can build them, like, why would the search engines consider them as valuable links? Like, again, the goal with link building is to establish your site as the authority or expert in your industry, right? Because other sites trust your site. But if you're getting backlinks from, automated links like this, or easy to get links like this, why would the search engine think that they're trustworthy backlinks, right? And a lot of people just try to build these links because they're easy to build or acquire and they're cheap. They can buy them on Fiverr. They can buy a lot on Fiverr. But don't waste your budget. Don't waste your time. These links are going to hurt you. I would just stick to this. Okay. So yeah, that's it for now. I hope this was helpful. If you want to learn more about link building, how we actually build the links, we have a school community that goes over, specifically how we build our guest posts and link insertions with, the tools we use, the outreach strategy, even some templates that we use on our emails. If you want to check that out, I'll leave a link in the description to our school community. If you're a 7-figure Shopify brand owner and want us to handle your SEO for you, I'll also leave a link in the description to book a call with me. If you book a call with me, there's no obligation to work with us. So at the very least, you end up with a free SEO consultation. So yeah, that's it for now. I hope this was helpful. Thanks for listening. Cheers.